We're going to start. So the flow of the maamer. The flow of the maamer is that the treasures that are withheld for generations, when it comes to Milchemes Mitzvah, which means all is at stake, the ultimate victory, Mashiach, so then these oitzeres are squandered. Now, what is this oitzer? So the oitzer is the Ein Sof L'mayla Adin Ketz. That's the oitzer. This revelation, this lofty revelation of the Eibishter that is above without end. Now that itself, that's a quote from a statement in the Zohar that concludes and says, "Well, the mata adin tachlis," and descends below without fathoming, also without end. So the mind the Fidige Rebbe is explaining, in order to appreciate what is the darga of Ein Sof L'mayla Adin Ketz, let's first appreciate what is meant by it descends Adin Tachlis. And this is what's given to every soldier, this oitzer, manifested again in the Rebbe's Chassidus and Maimorim and Brochas and himself, as the king himself. Part of this oitzer is the king, and that's the ultimate level of the oitzer, is that the king himself is on the front lines and ready to give up his life and gives up his life for the victory. It's all part of the oitzer, it's the essence of the oitzer. So the Fidige Rebbe starts to explain, again, to appreciate the Ma'ila Adin Ketz, we have to first appreciate the Mata Adin Tachlis. So in Ois Yud Beis, he explained that in terms of the reach of Hashem's Ein Sof. What's the reach? The downward reach, that it creates even the lowest levels. Descends to create Yesh Ma'ayin, etc., the lowest levels, which is our physical world. It doesn't get lower than this. In Ois Yud Gimel, he adds, not only does the Ein Sof descend all the way down, as it were, to create the lowliest, most finite, concealing, limited entities, this world, but it's revealed here. There's, in the words of the maamer, is pashtus and gilui Ein Sof. So let's pick up again Ois Beis. Sif Yud Gimel, Sif Echad, Sif 13. Echad is Begimatria 13. Mamshich Labayr Inyan Noise Belamata Mata Adin Tachlis. He continues to explain the downward reach, the far reach, as it were, of the Ein Sof, in brackets, Leben Egeling and Yisavlis, not in terms of its creative power, which was discussed in Ois Yud Beis, Elo, a bigger chiddush. In Egel, the Ispashtos Vigili Ein Sof. The Ispashtos, the spreading and the revelation of the Ein Sof. These are the words now of Ois Yud Gimel, of the previous Rebbe's mind, the Rebbe's mind that we're going to focus on. Says the Fidige Rebbe, that which the Zohar says that Ein Sof descends below Adin Tachlis without end. This refers to the revelation and the spreading, literally. Ein Sof, of the Ein Sof, the Ein Shir Obligvul Mamish Ad Lamatamat. Just as a whole. What's that?
You have the word "er."
No. No, you have what? Ein Sof?
No.
I said or?
Yes.
I said, look, no. What's interesting, however, is that the order of the two words is Pashtus and Gilui. The Rebbe first said is Pashtus and Gilui in the introduction, but the quote is first Gilui and then is Pashtus. Seichel word is Pashtus first. Pashtus means present everywhere, doesn't mean revealed. Not only present, but revealed. So the Rebbe has to say it is Pashtus and Gilui, but the Fidige Rebbe's Lashon is Gilui and is Pashtus. At any rate, the Madrege, so the Madrege, Yosachdoin, Vayoseh Tachdoinus. So the Ein Sof descends to the most latter and lowest levels. This is all continuing the quote of the Fidige Rebbe. That's the meaning of this statement in the Zohar. Ein Sof L'mata Adin Tachlis, Sheispashtus Ha'oid B'chinas Ein Sof Obligvul Klal that the spreading of the Eir is of Eir Ein is without limit at all. Ad madrega yesa mata mata to the lowest level. Ad kal l'shayim. This is the quote. Again, the Fidi Rebbe's language, he goes back and forth a bit. But Rebbe's not as much from a Suda that way. So there's different syntax, different style. End of quote. So what's he saying now? That the intent is not merely that the Eir Ein Sof descends via the chain of descent without end, and therefore it's without end. If that's all it meant, it could mean present, but very concealed and not revealed, veiled. Ella, but the chiddush now of Yisud Gimel is even as it's down here, which is the lowest level, Sham Gufa B'Ofen Shel Ein Sof. The infinite revelation is not compromised; it still remains infinite, notwithstanding that where it is invested in the most finite and limited creation.
But still doesn't say it's the gully, it says it's there.
Yeah, well, B'Ofen Shel Ein Sof means B'Golin. That's the whole point of it. That's how the way. As he began the ois, not only his avos, but his pashtas v'gilu. So that's what the oifen means, in a way of Ein Sof, meaning the gilu property. Mamshir b'maymer, the Maimer goes on to say, which is what we're going to zero in on. Shashev Hashem Eir Ein Sof, the praise that we praise the Eir Ein Sof, sheyochel lovei b'spashtas v'gilu, that the Eir Ein Sof can be spread and be revealed. And here he makes it clear, which is the big chiddush. Hanalerak is pashtus, not just present, spreading literally. Elagam gili, but where he is in a revealed manner. So that which we say that this is the power of the Eibishter, that and the greatness, the praise of the Eir Ein Sof, that it comes the mata mata adin tachlis, all the way down. Eina kavana, I might think, what's mata mata? The first Eilamus. Eilamus Ein Sof is compared to Eir Ein Sof is already mata, and Atzilus is already mata. No, it's not the kavan. Eina kavana lis pashtus v'gili, but Eilamus Ein Sof. We don't mean that the Eir Ein Sof is present and revealed in the infinite worlds, because that's already a mata. We don't even mean the praise is not even that the Eir Ein Sof is present and is revealed in Eilam Atzilus, even though they are a mata compared to pure Eir Ein Sof.
Wouldn't you understand that when you ever write the mata mata, then it means all the way down here? Like, why would you have to explain
So
that?
I might think Stam mata is Eilamus Ein Sof, and mata mata is Atzilus. I could think that. And even though, why would I think that? Because Shebe'erech Eir Ein Sof, compared to the pure infinite revelation, Harigam Eilamus Ein Sof, the infinite worlds, we're invoking the idea of worlds. So there's one world, the second world, the third world, one starts, one ends, there's limitation, there's boundary. Whatever that means, but it's a sublime boundary, but it's still a boundary, it's still a matter. That's where the term Eilamus, the word Eilam, Helem, concealment, applies. So there's some level of concealment. So I might think that's the mata mata, no. Because he's elaborating what we just said. You can't say you can't say that that's the shvach. That's not the descent we speak of. Why not? Why not? And this is what the way he's going to elaborate. Quote, quoting now further from the Friedrich Rebbe. Because the Olam is the infinite world before the Tzimtzum. And the Olam Atzilus, which is post-Tzimtzum, the Shom made Eir Ein Sof Begilui, with Eir Ein Sof is revealed there, no big chiddush, because Hareim Kelim Lo Eir Ein Sof. They're Kelim. The Yois, the Gama Kelim Hareim Belikus Mamish. As opposed to the Kelim, the vessels of Bria or Bia, they're not Mamish Alikus. The Kelim of Eilamus Ein Sof, for sure, even the Kelim of Atzilus. Again, we're not explaining things right now. We're just getting, as we call it, the geography, to be clear what we're talking about. Bimkein concludes the Friedrich Rebbe, ain't Pelle Klal, it's not a Pelle and Dippa, not a praise, not a wonder. The Eir Ein Sof, Meir Sham Begillah, that Ein Sof is revealed in the Olam Ein Sof, and in Olam Hatzilus, even though it's an Olam and there's Kalim, that's not a Pella. Two things that need to be understood. It's not a Pella that is revealed there, the Ein Sof, and not a Pella that they can receive the Ein Sof.
Again, it's a double statement.
Yeah, we don't know what that means right now. I think the Maimon will explain it later.
But they couldn't accept it with Gilui.
In what sense is it revealed? Right. If they're not accepting it, so what does it mean, Gilui? Gilui means through the Makabel. So l'chayr, it's this one and the same thing. You want to say something? So that's to be explained. So the conclusion is, summary, that was the end of quote. It's not a pella the Ein Sof can be spread there. What's the there? Olam is lifnei atzimtzum and Olam Atzilus. That's clear. There's two things. It can be present and not revealed. So there's no chiddush in either. Not the presentness and not even vafilu, not even the chiddush that is revealed. He can be present and concealed. You're there, but no one knows you're there. But he's present and revealed. That's not a chiddush. That's the summary. He's not going into the two pratim we just said before. Just a general summary. Mashenke Beilam is Biyah. Now the chiddush is that Ein Sof does descend to Beilam is Biyah. That's the chiddush. He's being spashtus there, spread there, present, and begilui and revealed. What does this mean? To be explained. It's not the whole beer and now to the page. I don't know. The Yuvan. Okay, now to understand the next paragraph, we'll refer back and forth to the paper that I gave you. Otherwise, we'll tend to be lost. Okay, so just to remind everybody, the way the Maimorim work, the BASI, the GANI Maimorim, because this is when the Rebbe is makabel in the Siyus. So this was his minhag from the very first Maimer that he quoted from all the Rabbeim in the Maimer. It was extremely significant that the Chassidim realized immediately that he's quoting from all the Rabbeim. The first Maimer, he quoted only from the Alter Rebbe down. And then subsequently he quoted all the way back from the Baal Shem Tov, and the later years, if I'm not mistaken, even from his father, could also be. Certainly the Nigunim of Rosh Hashanah, which is similar, all the Rabbeim, as well as his father in the later years. Okay, so now to understand this. So B'Yuvan, B'Teisves Beer, to understand all of this with further explanation, Apiteres Baal Shem Tov. So he starts now with the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. That was transmitted through the Magid in his Sefer Eir Torah. The Pirush HaKosov, in explaining the pasuk, that Hashem tells Noach Tzoyer Tasa L'Teva, you shall make a light through Pirushim, whether it's an open window or a luminous stone, for the Teva, and it should have Tachtiyim, 3 floors, a lower floor, Shneim, a second floor, Shlishim, a third floor. Tasa, you should make it. So this teaching is quoted in Eira Torah, and this teaching is quoted and explained by the Alter Rebbe. The need for Sabah Likutei Torah Legimel Parshas, and is printed in the Sefer Likutei Torah Legimel Parshas. A bit of history right now. What is the Likutei Torah Legimel Parshas? Without going to the whole story, it is as follows. Likutei Torah of the Alter Rebbe has, as you will know, long hagoyis of the Tzemach Tzedek. Likutei Torah is on a Yikra B'Mid Ben Dvarim. Eira Torah, instead of Torah of the Alter Rebbe, has relatively less hagoyis. So Rebbe Maharash prepared for publication on the first 3 parshas, Bereishis, Noach, Lech Lecha, Biyurim of the Tzemach Tzedek, and his own, a lot of his own Biyurim. It's a bit of a history here. It's a bit of a inside, not such a pleasant, pretty story. But the Peil, he prepared it, but it wasn't published. It was nostalgic before it was published. It was given over by the Rebbe Tzarifke to a Chassid. It was the son of the oldest son of the Tzemach Tzedek of Baruch Shalom, to publish it in Vilna. He was was slow moving. And what happened was like this, just as everybody knows, after these dalkas of the Tzemach Tzedek, it wasn't clear because the Tzemach Tzedek actually, who's Memalamok, wasn't clear at all. He left actually 3 tzavos, one and another one was changed. Whatever reason was left completely. And the final ones, there should be no Rebbe, they should all leave him Lubavitch, and then was the Rebbe's and the Reb Marash. And Bezdin in the end, Paskins, the Reb Marash. It was a very difficult time. One of the tzavos actually said that who should be Rebbe, Yehuda Leib, his son Yehuda Leib. Then later he changed it to Tzemach Tzedek, but there was such a tzavot. Upon him, he picked up and he went to Kopust. He settled in a place called Kopust and started a Rebbe, which lasted 3 generations. And there was a big tension between the Kopust Chassidim and the Rebbe Marash, who took over subsequently to the Nesias and Lubavitch. They felt that it should be their father. So, believe it or not, so before this was published, the Sefer prepared by Rebbe Marash, they got a hold of it and they published it, but they took out a lot of the Rebbe Marash's Maimorim, put in other Maimorim, and the heading of the Sefer said it's mainly a Rebbe Marash's Sefer, and they used it. I think they even put in mistakes, could be, I don't know, but it's the Rebbe Marash's Sefer. It's all the Tzemach Tzedek's Maimorim. Rebbe Marash, why is he putting his name? It was a point of contention, L'Koyel Kahos never published the Sefer. It was called the Kotetayre Legimel Parshas. However, these are orders of the Rebbe Marash were published in Oyratayre of the Tzemach Tzedek. That's where they appear. Incorporated in the Tzemach Tzedek's Chassidus, because a lot of it are his orders anyway, are his orders and the Rebbe Marash's orders. That's the end of the story. So there's no Sefer published by Kahos. Adam still exists, you could find it. It'll be a rare Sefer probably. And that's the history. But what's interesting is, so if you look at Aleph, you see Aleph on the page. Aleph, these are the original ha'orders that came out when the Maimon was first published, which the Rebbe edited, not formally, but did. The numbered ha'orders are the Lahak. Later, when they republished it, but everything gets a source. So you look at Aleph, indeed, for the Achar, it was published afterwards by Ratayra Noyach, and it gives it a place where it's published. What I'm saying is interesting is that even though the Peil, the Sefer, is where absorbed within Ratayra, and Tzemach Tzedek, it's always referred to by the Rabbi, by a Rebbe, by its original name. Whenever it's quoted, look at the Torah Legimel Parshas. Are we clear? Sure. Yeah, just who's who? So now we're getting a beer of the Baal Shem Tov. Where is it? It's given over to the Magid, and it's explained by the Alter Rebbe. Where it's explained by the Alter Rebbe in the Reb Marash's L'Kutei Torah L'Gimel Parshiyos, which is all the beer on the Alter Rebbe's Maimorim of Torah. Clear?
You said Tzemach Tzedek.
No, the Gimel Parshiyos with Tzemach Tzedek and his own, both.
So where's the Alter Rebbe? So where's...
It's on the Alter Rebbe's Torah.
Okay.
It's all a beer explaining the Alter Rebbe. Who's explaining it? It's Tzemach Tzedek and that Marash. The end is there's not a lot of that Marash there because they took it out. That's what's ended. So what's the beer? So now we're gonna use our paper a little bit. So the Shalom. Who was the Shalom? But there was the Shalom Sheluchis Abris, Rabbi Yeshayahu Horowitz. He was a big Makubal, and he's one of the Svarim that the Tanya is based on. The Rebbe writes in Akdama, the BP Svarim, the Seifrim. Who are the Svarim? The Shalom. Chassidim say the Shalom and the Mara. It's pretty evident. You can look at the Shalom, you can see that the themes there, the language there, a lot of it is in Tanya. And certainly the Maral as well. Accompanying the Shalom is a Pirush on Chumash. So he explains the Tachtim, Shniim, and Shlishim. So have a look. What do you read inside? Pirush, Shetachtim, Shniim, and Shlishim, the 3 floors of the ark. Hem Bia, Bria, Yitzir, Asir. So look on the page over there. The Shalom, Bria, highest world. It's Shlishim, but the numbers match. Because in the ark, the table going from the bottom up. That's why I numbered 3, 2, 1. But he's describing it Malamayla Lamat. Bri Yitzir and Asir. So after the Shalah is a Pirish from the Pasuk. Finished. Let's continue in the minor.
What do you mean by 3, 2, 1?
Sorry?
What do you mean by 3, 2, 1? Why is it different there? Why well, Shlishim is third floor?
Yeah, the top floor.
The top floor is Shlishim?
Yeah. Bottom floor, Tachten, Tachtim, and then Shneim Shlishim. Now, let's go further.
Sorry, Bria is the top floor or the bottom?
Bri is the top floor.
Okay. So
That's why Bria corresponds to Shlishim. That's what the numbers match up. Bria corresponds to Shlishim, Yitzir to Shneim, and Asir to Tachtim. Sounds confusing?
Yeah, so Bria.
Yeah,
is
number one.
I never looked at
The
it.
Milo, Matala, Matala.
No, but I'm saying the Pasuk Pshat is I don't know,
What does that have to do?
I was always, when during the Pasuk, I was thinking starting from the top bottom.
Tachtim means the lowest floor. Tachten.
Right.
Second floor, third floor, going up.
Well, I never.
Rashi says that Rashi said the lowest floor was for the refuse.
Right.
Shlishim is the one. Bria the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Teva is describing it Malamata Lamaila.
Right.
And all the Pirushim we're going to get is the language they use is Malamaila Lamata. So not to be confused, I numbered.
No, I understand it. No, I understand. Why? But why switching it?
Because we always
Why are all the Pirushim the opposite? You're saying you go in at the bottom floor, then there's a second floor and the third floor, that makes sense. But then intuitively we would think that the bottom floor is a Messiah.
It is.
Or
It
the
is.
bottom floor is a Messiah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third floor, that's the numbers.
The three.
The third floor is number one. That's why it's
3 matches with 3, 2 matches with 2. Is the likely number.
No, 3 matches with 1.
No, but it's
No.
That's why
No,
it's
it's
three.
three.
And it's Bria.
Numbers and
No,
numbers.
it's not. That's yeah.
Yeah. Like here.
The written numbers match.
So the Shalos is Bri Yitzir
Okay.
Sia in that order. He means Shlishim, Shneim, and Shneim, Tachtim, opposite the order.
That's
from-
right.
Yes.
He's starting from the top
One
floor
divided
and going
by
down.
bottom.
That's what's confusing.
Yeah,
Shlishim
but
number
that's
one.
explain it, that's what he's saying.
He's starting from the top floor and going down from the highest to the lower. Bia.
Use the acronym BIA.
That's the acronym of Bia. I mean, the acronym is not Ayib. The acronym is Bia. That's the. Okay. Now back to the Maimon. We're going to go back and forth between the page and the Maimon. Or Beer Teres. Oh, sorry. Beir Teres. May I magidish Maseiden. So, what so far? So far, we brought down the Shalah. Now, the Magid, now we're getting to the Baal Shem Tov's Pirush. Pirush, as he started off saying, Al Pi Teres Baal Shem Tov, and we're going to get to Teres Baal Shem Tov. Pirush Ba'im B'Kiyoyse B'Shem Baal Shem Tov. He explains at a deeper level these 3 floors, Shetachtim, Shneim, Shlishim, Hein Gimel HaPchines of Oilemus, Neshamas, Velikus. Stop. See, now look at the Baal Shem Tov. Clear?
Yeah.
And Likus Neshamas Oilemus. I put it in to keep it consistent. Tak the Baal Shem Tov is Melamat Olamayla. But just not to be confused, I just put them all. And Likus Neshamas Oilemus.
What is that geometry of the?
We'll see. We'll see. Because we don't call Bria Likus. Bria is Bria. The highest level for the Shalah is Elam HaBria. The highest level from the Baal Shem Tov is Alikus, which is certainly higher than Elam HaBria. Bria's creation already. Okay? Yeah? Again, we're doing geography now, no hasbaras, but just get it straight. Now, Shal Zeh Omru B'Zoyha, Omri B'Zoyha. So the Baal Shem Tov is saying, this is what it says in the Zohar. Klas Almin Isle Lekut Shabrich. The Abish says 3 words. So that quote appears on the second line. The same, the 3 elements. whatever we're talking about, the three floors of the Teva correspond to the three Olamis. It's just technically to know the Shalah is a Pirush on the Pasuk, not the Zohar. But the Mikdash Melech and the message we're going to have in a moment is a Pirush on the Zohar. I didn't point that out on the page, but that's, bear in mind, maybe make another page even clearer, who's saying what on what, but
And the Zohar is where?
the Zohar is in Parshas
Nothing to do with this.
Huh?
Nothing to do with Pasuk.
The Zohar does not speak about the Teva. The Zohar makes a statement, Bimbam, the Eibush has three worlds. The Eibush has three worlds. So says the Magid, that this statement of the Zohar is the same Indian as the three floors of the Teva.
So
Yeah.
Is implying that because Neshamas and Ilamas are three separate Ilamas in and of themselves.
Why do you say Olamus? Yeah. In the words of the Zohar, they're called three different worlds. Yeah. In the general term. Yeah. Okay, let's go further. The plot thickens, friends. Now, this is continuing now the Baal Shem Tov's Pirush. The Baal Shem Tov's Pirush. Deeper than the Shalah. The Shalah was Biyah, and the Baal Shem Tov is Alikus Neshamas L'Eilos. Going back to the Pasuk. So you have to make a light to the Teva. Explains the Baal Shem Tov, the famous teaching. The Koil al Teva Satfila B'Torah. Teva means a word. The ark is a container, and a word is a container. It's just a sound. It's what we invest. Say the word chair. By decision, we decide it means this, but it's just a container. It's a box. There's an idea or a symbol or an image attached to it, right? So you have to make a light to the Teva, the Koil al Teva Satfila B'Torah. So it refers to the words of davening and learning. So you have to make it lightful. Shetzrichim li is better Shabbat. A yid has to daven and learn in a way with is brilliant, with light, with chayis, with energy, with kavanah. For us, miskashim ha'olamas imalikus al yedei hadeshamas. So the three things, the three floors of the Teva, when you make it tzayhar, when you daven and learn with chayis, you're connecting the worlds with godliness through the neshama. That's what a yid does. A yid, by davening, he makes them all one. Tzayhar, tasa, la Teva, and then the ground floor, second floor, up floor, you should make it. The idea is they're all separate. But if you're going to be tzayhar, then it becomes all one. That's the avoid of a yid. How do you do that? Daven with the chayis, and learn with the chayis, and learn with kavanah, and learn with bittul, but all of the spiritual ruchnistic properties, not just say the words dryly, but one, but to say them with an awareness, etc. So what's the result? You fuse the Teva. What fuses? Elikus and Oilamas through Neshamas. In other words, the top floor and the bottom floor through the middle floor of the Neshamas. This is the cryptic teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. So they all become united. So far, this is the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov. And so far, the Baal Shem Tov's teaching, we've noted, is higher than the Shalah. The Shalah said it goes on beyond. Baal Shem Tov took it to a whole new level. Elikus, Neshamas, and Oilamas. Now, this is all part of...
Through Tzayar, you're
united.
1 and 3 are the Kus and Oilamas, with number 2 Neshamas.
The Neshama is affected. And the Neshama, davening with Tzoyar and learning with Tzoyar, unites the upper and the lower. This is still continuing the quote from the Torah Gimel Parshas, from Eira Torah.
Was just said, is that what it says here, or you?
No, we just translating what I just said.
But Olam and Neshamat, you're saying by the Olam and Neshamat is Mechiach at the first and third floor?
Yeah, but who's the Neshamas? Yidden. So
but that's not the Olam and Neshamat where we are now. This I thought this was just talking about some levels. We're here, we're not in the Olam and Neshamat.
No, so it means Yidden, Olam and Neshamas.
Okay, I thought it was a level.
It means, you're right, it means the source, but it means all the Neshama down here. You're connecting So if you want to rephrase that, okay, we'll take what you're saying into account. That means the source. So the Yid down here, davens with Kavana, he's connecting his neshama with, what's the lashon over here? So on all levels, the neshama down here, the neshama, the source, we can throw it into the fray. But in Pashtus, it just means, Oilimus and neshamas means the world of neshamas, it means the domain, our world. It means a Yid. A Yid. In general, it means Yidden. But you're right, it means starting from the source. But are we clear? Source plus the neshama down here. Because the tzayah is done by the neshama down here. So what gets all connected? Obviously the Yid down here, as the neshama is in the olam, with the source of the neshama, with the likus. So all of it's connected. Are you satisfied with that?
I'm just asking.
No, are you clear?
I'll take it.
Going further, now weiter. When Mamshech Habein Azoken, the Alter Rebbe continues, this is all quoted, this is all a quote from the Likutei Torah, the Gimel Parshas. The Alter Rebbe continues, this is now on the Zohar exclusively, not the Pasuk. But we've already said that the Zohar and the Pasuk are referring to the same thing. So what applies to the Zohar also applies to the Pasuk.
The Maggid, that was Maggid's highlight, no? But what the Zohar is saying, it's the same with the three levels of the table.
Yeah, the Maggid made that point. Yeah. Baal Shem Tov is down. So now it says the Alter Rebbe, there are two classic commentaries on the Zohar and two Pirushim. The Mikdash Melech is a famous Kabbalah Sefer. His name was, I think it was Shmuel Buzaglo, and quoted frequently in Chassidus as a mocker. So he Pirush Shehem Atzilus Briye Yitzira. So let's have a look over here. As it matches up, Atzilus Briye Yitzira. Not like the Shalom, but Atzilus Briye Yitzira. Yeah?
So he's one higher.
He's one higher. V'yeshloimar, says the Alter Rebbe, that actually fits with the Baal Shem Tov, who wrote Mashal Baal Shem Tov, Oilimus, Neshamas Elikus. Oilimus corresponds to Yitzira, Neshamas B'riya, and Elikus Atzilus. Okay, so if you just look on the page, look at the Mikdash Melech, Atzilus, Elikus, the world of godliness. B'riya in general is Eliman Neshamas, for Roiv Neshamas, with the rare exceptions, as the Rebbe says, we just learned. And Yitzir is Oilimus. So that man, look at the side there. Adhaz, Pirish Echad im Baal Shem Tov. Alter Rebbe, the side there in the green. The Alter Rebbe is saying that this is one, the Mikdash Melech has one Pirish with the Baal Shem Tov. Oto davar, the same thing. Achar Rames Pirish, Rames of Moishe Zakatu. Huh?
Zakuto, I think.
Huh?
Zakuto.
Zakut, yeah, Zakuto, as in Schus, Zakuto. Yeah, Zakuto. Or Zakut. So Pirish, it's in commonly Zakuta with the comets at the end. It's spelled Zayin, Chof, Vav, Tov, Aleph. Sometimes without an Aleph. That's why you said the word Zakut, Zakut or Zakut. So the Ramez also quoted this Pirish. He gives now a third Pirish on what? On the Zohar of the Tlas Almin. Sheim Ak, Atzilus Umbiyah. Let's just look at it. What's Ak Adam? He raised the up the ante, gone up. Let's just remember technically. Adam Kadman, what darga is this? Is the first darga post Tzimtzum. It's the darga of Ano Emlich, where the Eibishter first articulates the kavana of Bria. What does I want? Ano Emlich wants to be king. That was Dir P'tach is articulated there. Before Ak is just pure revelation of Eid itself, and Atzmos, there's no, just God's being. Where is articulated? It's rooted in Atzmos Mamish in Misaver. But where is it expressed? In the first level post Tzimtzum. Why did I make the Tzimtzum? Because I want to have a Dir P'tach. That's Adam Kadmon. The highest darg. The Rotz and the Elyon are not Emlich. So Ak, Atzilus, Bia. That's the three levels. He's up the ante. The Ramez.
He's catching everything.
Huh?
He's taking everything.
Yeah.
He's everything.
Yeah. Now Lahoyer. Now well Lahoyer. Not so before we get to the Lahoyer. We'll skip the brackets in a second because that's the Rebbe's Chiddush. Lahoyer is the Rebbe's beer, which we'll get to after. This could just skip the brackets. The Alter Rebbe says, "Shalifi pirush haramez, the ramez is pirush. Osi shapi yoyse pirush Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov's generic elikus neshamas and oilemus is even better understood because he takes it even deeper. Shehem gimel abchinas oilemus neshamas v'elikus. Okay, stop. That's clear. Yeah, is that clear? In the side over there, at what Azokin, Asi Shapi Yosef, this the Mezes Pirish is even better in accordance with the Pirish of Baal Shem Tov. So the Shalom is out of the picture.
You think it's better than the Mikdash Melech?
Yeah. The Mikdash Melech is already getting Atzilus is Alikus, but Ak is Alikus, even a more rarefied level. And Atzilus includes Neshamas, even the loftiest Neshamas Atzilus, and Eilamis is Bia. So it's more general. So it's even more accords even nicer with the Pirish of Baal Shem Tov than the Mikdash Melech. Now to stop here, Lahoyer, we'll do this tomorrow. Lahoyer, that's the next thing.
Just 1 second.
Yes.
The Alter Rebbe likes the Ramaz's Pirish better than the Baal Shem Tov?
No,
The opposite.
he's explained the Baal Shem Tov. He says the Mikdash Melech fits with the Baal Shem Tov, and the Ramez fits even better with the Baal Shem Tov.
The Baal Shem Tov didn't say really.
He didn't give Baal Shem Tov didn't give levels. He spoke general.
Right.
Elikus neshamas eilamis.
So we're
The
going to
Mikdash Melech says Elikus is Atzilus, massive. But to say that Elikus is Ak is even better, and it's broader. He starts with Ak and he ends with Bia. Eilamis embracing all the way down. Whereas the Mikdash Melech ends Eilamis with Yitzir. The Mikdash Melech has a narrower pirish, and the Ramez is a broader pirish, starting higher and extending lower.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, out of the Rebbe to learn tomorrow is the Shalom is out of the picture. The Shalom doesn't seem to fit with the Baal Shem Tov at all. To call a Likus Bria, Likus Bria is creation. We're going to learn the out of the Rebbe that the Ramez does fit. The Hoyer it does, but if we use a different approach, which we'll visit Be'ez Hashem tomorrow. Okay, Chaber, so we're in tomorrow, 6 o'clock. It's Friday. It's a critical juncture in the mind. We've got to be on board. Huh?
Friday at 6 o'clock?
Confusing whatever, and the fact that you called this color green is even more confusing.
Oh, I tell you why. Because
The original is green, but
no, actually, the original is blue, but it came out this compared to the original is green. Is aqua kind of color.
6 o'clock?
Okay, it's today's story.